Hello students, I welcome you in standard 5th. Today's subject is Environmental Science Part 2. Students, environmental science studies the problem of degradations of the environmental pollution, population, etc. It not only finds problems but looks at their solution also. EVS 2 means history. History, his story. So let's start find out what is mean by history. In our first chapter of EVS 2, lesson name, what is history? Last year in standard 4th, we studied the life of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his mission of establishing Swarajya. The time before birth of Shivaji Maharaj was about 400 years before now. Students, so we can say we studied the history of Shivaji Maharaj. In history, concept of time is important. For our convenience, we divided time in different parts like past, present and future. The time that has already gone by is the past. The time that we are in now is the present, and the time that is yet to come is the future. So, what is the history? History means the science that tries to understand past events is called history. Students, can you repeat one more time after me? What is mean by history? History means the science that tries to understand past events is called history. Good. So children, history is the study of past event that involved or affected people and things. This study is based on the interpretation of evidence. Without evidence, there is no proof that event happened. It is not possible to conduct experiment to recreate the events that have happened in the past. Therefore, the method of presenting history is different from that of other sciences. History uses the scientific method. History uses the scientific method. The scientific method of history means the method of using a number of different tests to determine whether the evidence is reliable is called the scientific method. Children, reliable means to check, to correct. So, can you repeat the definition one more time after me? Scientific method means the method of using a number of different tests to determine whether the evidence is reliable is called the scientific method. Good. Let's take one example. For example, your grandparents or parents tell you amusing stories. Amusing means funny stories of your childhood. However, when the different people tell you about the same event, you find differences in their narration. Narration means their stories. It means you wonder which one is the right. You need to examine to check, to examine the details of each narrations carefully with evidence to decide the correctness of the fact. This all process is called the scientific method of history. That is why children, history is not written solely on the basis of imagination. it needs proof, evidence. So proof and evidence are important in the history. There are different types of evidence. They are also called sources of history. There are three types of sources: material sources, written sources, and oral sources. Let's see one by one. First one is the material source. Now look at the picture, children. You will see there are coins, ornaments, sculpture, structures, pots, copper plates. These all are material. So, which sources are find a material, they are known as a material sources. Second one, written sources. Which evidences are in written form, for example books, manuscripts, bhujapatras, etc., or are called written sources. Third one, oral sources. Which sources in oral form, for example traditional stories, song, etc., actually it passed from generation to generation orally. That sources are known as oral sources. With the help of the evidence, children, that stand this test, past events are put in a proper sequence and a historical account is written. This is the scientific method. So today's video we learn what is history, sources of history, the scientific method of history. I hope you must have understood the lesson. Go through the video again and again and read the lesson from the textbook. I will send you the assignment on WhatsApp group. Thank you.